Are you ready to learn from one of the greatest investors of modern history and possibly of all time? In this video, we'll be diving into the world of Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. Buffett has become a household name for his incredible wealth and investment strategies. But there's more to Warren Buffett than just his net worth. He's also a philanthropist, a business leader, and a source of inspiration for millions of people around the world. Whether you're an aspiring investor or just looking for some inspiration, this video is sure to leave you feeling motivated and ready to take on the world. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn as we uncover the core principle that has helped Warren Buffett on his way to financial and personal success. This is the Development Zone. We research, learn, and educate about topics around self-development. So if you get value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Warren Buffett's ability to think long-term is a testament to his annual financial returns over a lifespan of 60 years in the game. However, Buffett doesn't just spend all his time thinking about companies and their respective moats. He spends a great deal of time thinking about how we can live better. We see this as we follow one of the stories from one of Buffett's employees. The story goes that Buffett one day approaches his pilot, Mike Flint, after realizing that Flint had worked for him for the past 10 years. He wants to discuss Flint's career and personal goals and see how he can help him achieve them. "The fact that you're still working for me," Buffett jokes, "tells me I'm not doing my job." To map out his goals, Flint was asked by Buffett to conduct a simple exercise. It would change the way he viewed his priorities forever. So what was this exercise Flint did? Well, it shouldn't be a surprise at this point. Nonetheless, drum roll please. Yes, you guessed it. The first step in this exercise was to list down 25 things that Flint wanted to accomplish in the foreseeable future. Nothing was off the table. Secondly, Flint was to rank these items in order of importance and circle the top 5. Prioritizing his goals was more undoubtedly challenging than listing them, but Flint managed it. Just when it appears as though the most challenging part of the exercise was over, Buffett asks Flint a seemingly simple question. "What are you going to do with the remaining 20 items?" "Well, the top 5 are my primary focus, but the other 20 come in at a close second," Flint explained. He goes on, "They are still important, so I'll work on those as I see fit as I'm getting through my top 5. They are not as urgent, but I still plan to give them dedicated effort." At this point, Buffett's expression changes a little. He responds sternly, "No, you've got it wrong. Everything you didn't circle just became your avoid-at-all-cost list. No matter what, these things get no attention from you until you've succeeded with your top 5. Avoid at all cost? Flint certainly wasn't expecting that. You may even be thinking, what happens to the remaining 20 goals? Do we just forget about them like they never existed? Don't worry, we'll discuss this a little bit later in the video. But for now, the reason why the top 5 goals are so important is because of the idea of selective focus. There's more competition for our attention than ever. Choices have never been more abundant than any other in history, and it's unlikely we'll be constrained anytime soon. In fact, our options are likely only going to expand as we advance further into our personal lives and careers. It's the primary reason why most of us will never reach the level of competency needed to reap the rewards of being a superstar. Each time we pursue a new course of action, we incur an opportunity cost. It takes our time and attention away from the things that are most important to us. Your odds of success improve when you direct your focus into a singular pursuit. You have to double down on a few things and rack up the hours trying to get really good at that. It's what Cal Newport calls the craftsman mindset in So Good. They can't ignore you. Craftsmen often start off as apprentices to a more experienced person and spend years learning the basics. They then usually pave their own path, where they add their own style and tastes to create work with little nuances. That's when they finally start to attain mastery. They don't get distracted by the latest fad or jump from one interest to another. Spending time on a singular focus helps them get the important things done. We can attain the same results if we apply it to our health, relationships, and personal goals. So what happened to the remaining 20 goals? Will you really get around to it? The result seems to be that we're forced to lead boring lives without options, but that's not true. The 5-25 rule's only requirement is that you finish the top 5 items before moving on to goal 6 and beyond. So in essence, goals 6 to 10 on your original sheet of paper, however long ago that was, are now your new top 5 goals to be focusing on. Think about all the things you have wanted to do. You might want to master another language, play a musical instrument, start your own business, practice a new martial art, learning how to dance. But for most of us, we never really make any progress. It's a sign that these items on the list aren't really important to us. Most of us pick these items because they provide some form of benefit. And while they are nice, they don't sufficiently motivate us to follow through. Because it's not too high on the list of our priorities, work and family are more important than being multilingual, we do this only in our spare time. That effectively means a single goal can take months, if not years, to ever accomplish. The result is that we have a list of items that will almost never get completed. This list only weighs on our mind and fills us with stress and guilt. Pareto's principle, better known as the 80-20 rule, tells us that the majority of outcomes are driven by a small number of things that we do. Chances are that anything that falls outside your top 5 will have little impact on your life. Rather than add on, take the time to eliminate. The 5-25 rule is yet another example of how simplicity makes life better and easier. Do more of what matters. Time and attention are 2 of the most finite resources in the world. There will be more good opportunities than we realistically have time for. We shouldn't be quick to pounce on every one of them because not all will be right for us. It doesn't matter how good an opportunity is if all it does is advance goal 25 for us. If we force ourselves to eliminate our options, we quickly find that only a few things truly matter to us. We would be best served if we ignore distractions and do more of what really matters. It is important to note that the 5-25 rule is not about rejecting future aims, but rather about not starting what you can't finish. The presumption is that you have the opportunity to revisit the eliminated goals later, but never right now. So whether it is ignoring distractions or utilizing selective focus, there is something that everyone can learn and incorporate in their daily lives. Comment down below what your next steps are. However, it's important to note that the 5-25 rule is not a complete solution. Sometimes we may have a clear goal in our minds and know what we want to achieve. However, we just can't pick ourselves up to do it. Click here to watch a video on procrastination and how our brains are wired to procrastinate. If you got value out of this video, click the like button and subscribe. The Development Zone will see you in the next video.